Hi, welcome to video 2 of Twoater. Here I'm going to explain how the search functionality works and how it's beneficial to you. This is really one of the key strengths of the application. Okay, you're looking at a list of Twoats. Let's go to the first list. So the first one on the list is called All 30 Days Twoats. If I click on search, I can see how this search is built. So we're in TwoaterSearch. The title is All 30 Days, so this is what we're looking at. It's of type All Twoats, so it's saying list all Twoats. No options there. Then it's saying look 26 days back in time, and it's got no other exclusions. So the only real constraint is to say list all Twoats that have been raised to date, looking backwards 26 days in time rather than all the way back to the beginning of time, and sort the list by date. This you're going to sort by date, which is descending from the most recent, or sort by usefulness, which would then list the Twoats that have been most viewed by people. Okay, that's the all Twoats. Now I saved that, and what you'll see when I click on this list is all the saved searches I've created. So I can create up to 9 of them. The second one down is called Around Me 1. Let's go have a look at it. So I select it. So Twoats Around Me 1. The second in the list of searches. I click on search to see how this is made. So I called it Around Me 1. Let's just change that to Around Me so you can see how this actually changes back to the title here. So this title is exactly what you type in. Around Me. Okay, let's go back into how that search is built. So it's called Around Me, and the search type is only list Twoats raised around me. So that's what I've selected. And look 30 days back in time, and it's got a radius of 10 miles. Let's change that to 154 miles, for example. It's got no constraints around hashtags or which Twoats I want to look at. It's got no exclusions, and it's listed by date. So done. So that's how the Around Me search, and it only lists those Twoats that are being raised around me, where I am currently. You'll see I've got some Twoats from Hook. I've got a Twoat from business here. Let's say I didn't want to see the Twoat from this business. I can exclude that. So I go back into the search. I can click exclude. I can say exclude businesses from my search. Save that. Go back to my list, and you'll see now that business Twoat has disappeared. It's no longer listed. What other searches have I created? I've got about following, so people I'm following. How did I create that? If I look in the other, you'll see I'm following TW-info and Hook. I could add in here Nick. And you'll suddenly see we've got Nick Twoats being listed as well. So my messages, I want to see only messages that I have sent or received. How did I create this search? I said title's called My Messages. What type of search am I doing? The type of search I'm doing is only my Twoats, i.e. those sent to me or from me, is turned on. Therefore, as a result, and I've excluded businesses. So let's undo that exclude. So we want to see businesses as well. And voila. So that's all the Twoats that I have either sent or received. I've got Mayday as well. The way I created the listing of Mayday and Pans was by go back into the search. And you'll see I've said list all Twoats looking 134 days back in time, and I defined hashtags. So I've said list all Twoats that have a hashtag of either Mayday or Pan. And that's how you see this list. If I change that to say only list Mayday hashtags, forget about pan-pans, actually I think this probably has a hashtag of Mayday. Let's do it the other way around. Let's get rid of hashtags. Get rid of Mayday. And just have hash pan in here. Okay, I obviously haven't created a hashtag called pan-pan. Let's go back into search. Turn it back onto Mayday, because I think Mayday is obviously what it is. What others? I've also got searches based around business only, so I only want to see messages from businesses. How did I create this? Basically by having an exclude. I say exclude ports and other throats. Don't exclude businesses, i.e. include these businesses only. So that's how I did that search. Here's Twoaters only. So I did that by excluding ports and businesses. And then I've got Saint-Tropez. Let's see what I've put in here. Nothing listed right now. It's got a type of port Saint-Tropez, so that looks good. And here's the Latin long that the system worked out based upon this address. You'll also notice that I've got a radius of 1 mile here. So if we increase that radius, I suspect we'll suddenly find that we'll find some throats that are being raised within that radius. I can click on one, for example. You see that actually this was coming from Cannes, those throats. In fact, this here was an advert. 20% off food and drinks at the Radeau Plage. Got to go there. In fact, to go there, I just click on this and I can see they're only 5,900 miles away from where I currently am. And finally, I've got one more search filter, and that's Rye Harbour. If I look at that, it's based around Rye, England. So there you go. So that's how the search functionality works. It's powerful. You can save up to 9 searches for throats. And similarly, in the same way, you can create up to 9 searches for throaters. So you'll see these are all different wording because they're different searches on throaters, not on throats. That is the video tutorial on how you build a search and how it's useful. Another example of, actually before I sign off, a use of this is, let's say you're planning a holiday around the Mediterranean. You would come into the Twoater tool, you would create a, let's go back into throats rather than throaters. You would create a search for, perhaps, we've got one for Saint-Tropez. You think, well, I'm not interested in Rye Port right now, let's just go change that to be a search on Cannes rather than Rye. So go in here, just type in Cannes, France. You'll see it change the lat long automatically for you and save that. Then let's change the title to Cannes. Save that. It's got looking 30 days back in time, it's got a big radius, no other exclusions, sorted by date, done, and there we go. Okay, thanks for listening. Enjoy using Twoater.